Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. First video on the channel in 9 months. I know it's been a long time. 9 months is like possibly a record for me. Like I don't know if I've ever gone 9 whole months without uploading a video. I actually am not sure about that. But yeah, regardless, it's been forever. It's been forever since I posted the video. I believe the last video I posted on the channel here was a Shrouded Fable TCG opening, so been a while for sure. So there's been a lot that's happened in that time, and a lot of it explains why there hasn't been any videos. I do want to do better at getting videos up, and I want to basically try to start making it a regular thing again, just because it is something I do enjoy doing. Like that's the thing, is I do enjoy making videos. I enjoy like sharing like my Pokemon journey like with all of you, but like there's just been so much going on, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video, is everything that happened. So I've made like a little slideshow here just to kind of highlight some bullet points as I talk about different things. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So I basically put June and July there on that first slide just because I'm posting this at the tail end of June, basically beginning of July, so that's why I posted that there. But anyway, on to the biggest topic here. Why hasn't there been any content recently? So the biggest thing here is life and work has just kept me really busy, and there's also been a lot going on with that. So for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure most of you don't, I mean, like some of my personal friends who might be watching this video would understand and know. But anyway, just to kind of get this out there, I basically had a situation where I was working with a company. So I'd gotten a new job. So last year, I'd gotten a new job, and I was working in that job for roughly about 8 months. And then I actually ended up leaving that job because there was just I had some personal issues that were going on. It was getting like, I enjoyed like what I did to an extent, but there was some parts of it that I just found were not a great fit for me. Like it was a job where it was basically I was working in the IT industry. That's what I was doing. So I was kind of doing like technical support and stuff like that. And I just found that there was just some elements like I just did not really click with. And overall it actually ended up resulting in me having like heightened stress and just a lot of personal health issues that were going on, like both physically and mentally. It was just taking a huge toll on me. So unfortunately, I ended up having to leave my position as what in what I was doing and leave my career in the IT industry, and I ended up actually going back to what I did previously, which is working in the retail industry. So I went back to working in retail, which I'm doing a lot better in retail. It was funny because when I moved on from the retail industry, I thought it wasn't really for me either. Like I thought it was like, nah, like I don't like random schedules. I don't like there was just a lot I didn't like at the time. But going back into retail, I actually ended up getting a much better situation. So my schedules are more fixed now compared to what it was before, because now I've kind of got my own role. So basically now that I've got my own role and responsibilities to what I do at my job, it's a lot better now compared to what it was before. And honestly, like the physical aspect, being able to move around has been perfect. I've actually lost weight since I switched jobs too, so it's been excellent for like a good like mental physical boost. Like it's definitely been a lot better for me, so really happy about that. And overall, I actually feel like I have more time to do stuff too. Like I basically in my last job, my work hours were Monday to Friday, 10 to 6, and now I'm working mostly 7 to 4. So, which I much prefer, because I'm the type of person who I like to get up in the morning and go straight to work, and then kind of just have as much time as I can to do things I enjoy to do after work. So 10 to 6 didn't really give me much time to be able to do things for myself during the weekdays, which was a little annoying. Like I found like I wasn't able to, let's just say, shiny hunt much. Like most times I would go to shiny hunt, I would only have like maybe a good like maybe 2 hours max to really get a good productive hunting session in before I started getting tired, because I'm not really a night owl, I'm more of a morning person. So that was kind of a problem for me, and it didn't really mix well with my hobbies either, I found. So having an earlier work schedule, most of my days being 7 to 4, I'm able to get out like 2 hours earlier, get an extra 2 hour boost to whatever I'm doing, and it makes a huge difference. Like I've been able to have a lot more time to do things like let's just say spend time with my girlfriend Danielle, who's been obviously in videos in the past, TCG videos, and also just simply like shiny hunt or do other things I enjoy doing. So yeah, it's been a lot better. So things have definitely kept me busy with that. Like with my professional life, when it comes to work, that's been a huge thing in the last like year. It's basically just it resulted in my health going extremely downhill at my last job. I had to leave that job and get into another job, and then get settled into my current job. And yeah, there's just been a lot going on with that. Also, not only that, but Danielle and I have actually gone on 2 trips together. So we went on a trip last October to. So we both live in Canada, right? So we live in Canada, and anyway, we went to Nova Scotia, which is a Canadian province in the eastern part of the country. So we went there for about 10 days or so last October. That was a great trip. We got to do some shopping, see some family, things like that, kind of do a little bit of sightseeing. So that was really fun. And then just this month, actually in June, like at the beginning of the month, we flew out to Alberta. So, and that was again to do more sightseeing, shopping, and see family. So, really, really good trips. Definitely been a lot of fun. Really well needed for sure for both of us. Like to be able to see some family as well as like do some fun things together. So it was definitely great for sure. So yeah, life and work has just kept us so busy. It's been insane, like how much has happened in the last like 9 months, and that just is partly why there hasn't been much content. Is that the other reason now there hasn't been much content is these reasons. So going to actual talking about Pokemon now, other than like ranting about what's been going on about my personal life. So with Pokemon itself, everything in the Pokemon scene has been kind of up and down in the last little while. So I'm sure most of you know about like everything going on with like the TCG, like the physical TCG. Obviously, prices right now are at an all-time high. Like you basically are getting packs for well above MSRP if you want to get packs. Packs are also really hard to find as well in a lot of stores. So like most times Danielle and I go into a store, we do not see any product at all to buy unless it's like decks or whatever, which obviously we don't buy those to open or anything. So there's a lot like going on with the TCG, like making it really hard to get, and it's very expensive now. Like it's a lot more expensive than it used to be, and it was already expensive as it is. And with that, we just haven't really been doing any openings. And I'm going to talk more about that in a few minutes anyway, kind of like what's going on there in more detail. But yeah, the TCG situation has not been great, and TCG was definitely a big focus of the channel in the last little while. So that's partly another reason to why there hasn't been any content is we haven't had any TCG to open, simply put. And then going to shiny hunting. So I've been preparing shiny hunts. So what I mean by preparing shiny hunts is I've been replaying through a lot of games. So quite a few of my games I've had are basically they weren't in the right situation to be able to shiny hunt. So for example, some of my older games, like my platinums for example, I needed to replay through those because they've had legendaries caught on them from like older files. So I needed to replay through those to be able to, if I wanted to hunt legendary someday, like I have a Dialga hunt actually that's on hold, like a really old Dialga hunt that I'd like to get back to someday, and I couldn't do it because Dialga was caught. So I wanted to play through these games to be able to prepare them to when I would decide to go hunt Dialga someday, I'd be able to do so. So things like that. So I've been trying to prepare like games to be able to do certain shiny hunts. So that's been part of it as well. And ultimately, like I just haven't been sure what's really the best direction for the channel because like there especially with the TCG side of things, there's going to be some changes. It's not going to be some great changes, but anyway, basically short straight up to the point with TCG, we're very uncertain about the content about what's going to be happening on the channel with opening Pokemon cards. So the biggest news of this is Danielle, my girlfriend, has retired collecting Pokemon cards because of the situation at hand. And she's not the only one. Like, there's a lot of other collectors I've seen that have done the same thing, that have decided to move on, like, because of everything that's been happening and just haven't been really enjoying it the same. And that unfortunately hit Danielle the same way. So, she has no more interest of collecting Pokemon cards. Like, she just doesn't enjoy it as much as she used to, and she just found like the financial stress of it, like being able to find product as well as pay absurd amounts of money for product. It just wasn't the same for her, and just not worth it. And to be honest with her, I don't blame her one bit. And I felt similarly. Like, I've felt that I just don't enjoy opening Pokemon cards as much as I used to, and it's sad because I do enjoy opening Pokemon cards. It's a situation where the Pokemon TCG is actually what brought me into the series in general. This is what kind of started my entire Pokemon journey, was opening Pokemon cards. And that's what brought me into the games. That's what brought me into shiny hunting. Like, it kind of did everything for me. And for the fact of everything going on, it's been devastating to see like what the TCG community and just, well, not really the community, but to see like what's been happening in the Pokemon TCG scene. It's devastating. And I do definitely wish that things would get repaired as soon as possible. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be soon to see like everything go back to normal, if not ever. But at least to a new normal, like a new, like, better normal, to say the least, is how I would describe it. But the thing is that the odds of Danielle going back to collecting are very slim. For me, it's kind of like a 50-50 chance. So for right now, and probably for the rest of this year, or at least for the maybe for the at least the foreseeable future. I'm not going to rule out the whole year, but at least like for the foreseeable future, unfortunately, there won't be any Pokemon card openings on the channel. And I hate to say that because I've posted and we've posted a lot of TCG openings and I've had a lot of fun with it. But unfortunately, just with everything going on, it is very hard for us to find product and obtain product. And for the prices that they are, like for what we'd have to pay to get the product, it's just not worth it right now to us. And I hate to say it, but it's true. So anyway, I'm not going to rule out the rest of the year for no card openings, but for the foreseeable future, there's not going to be anything TCG related on the channel. And someday I might be able to start opening more product. Like, I hope to someday. But until prices come down at least a bit, and until product becomes more regularly available, and it's not like a kind of what it is right now, where it's just impossible to, well, not impossible, but very difficult to get specific products. Like, it's just not going to be the same. So anyway, unfortunately, because of that, the TCG side of things, it's going to be basically non-existent to either between non-existent or to the very, 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 very down low of what kind of content's going to be on the channel. So I do apologize for that. It's something I really wish I wouldn't have to do, but it's something where, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. It's just what's come to be, and unfortunately, there's not really much I can do about it. It's just things happen, life happens, and if there is going to be TCG content in the future, chances are it'll likely just be me recording it. Like, Danielle likely won't be in those videos because she's no longer interested in collecting. But obviously, she'll still be a huge supporter of the channel and everything that we do. Like, behind the scenes, it's just she's not really into collecting anymore because of everything that's happened. So anyway, so that's kind of the update with TCG. It's not the greatest update. Obviously, I wish I could say, oh, I have like all kinds of openings coming up, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is right now. There's basically nothing, and for a lot of people, they're experiencing the same thing. Like, they're just not able to open up as much because they can't find as much, or they just can't afford to buy the product because it's just too much. It's just too expensive to be able to get whatever you want to get. So anyway, on to shiny hunting now. This is where things are going to be enhanced. So basically, going forward with my channel, a lot of what I'm going to be doing is going to be shiny hunting related. So I'm very excited about that. I'm just looking for the time to be able to do it. But basically, in the near future, the biggest thing I'm going to be focusing on is working on my hunting backlog. So I have a huge, huge backlog of shiny hunts I need to finish. Stuff that's been years old, like shiny hunts that are years and years and years old. Other ones that are more newer, but basically I want to count it as like a project. So essentially, once I have all the backlog hunts done, I actually am going to make a compilation for all these backlog shiny hunts and kind of put them all together to say, hey, this was the big backlog. It's all done now, and kind of just celebrate it. So that's kind of something I want to do as a project. So 50% of the time, I want to be working at hunts that are on that backlog, like ideally. The other 50% of the time is once I've finished preparing for hunts, I want to start beginning a lot of brand new hunts. I've been wanting to do for some time now, because you can't just like hunt only with the backlog. Like in my personal opinion, like if you're just gonna stick to hunting only on your backlog, it can be, and from personal experience, it can definitely be demotivational. Like it's not like fun all the time to necessarily focus on the same hunts that you've been doing for the last like so long. So being able to like mix it up and devote like 50% of your time to doing those types of hunts, as well as 50% of your time doing brand new hunts that you're interested in doing, it makes it a lot more enjoyable and just a better experience. So anyway, really excited to do that. A lot of the hunts that I'm going to be doing in the future is going to be stuff on Switch titles. So I want to have most of my focus on hunting being like, Switch Pokemon games, but obviously I still want to try to wrap up hunts in the older games, and also just be able to focus on getting like Switch hunts ready and be able to do Switch hunts. So yeah, that's kind of like what the plan is for shiny hunting in the near future. So a lot of it will be hunts I plan to do on like, any games from basically Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee all the way to Scarlet and Violet, and eventually ZA when ZA releases in October. But yeah, basically that's kind of the plan when it comes to that. As for my hunt backlog, so I actually kind of have a list here, so you can see the Hypno hunt here, 5,000 SRs. So I have a list here of all my backlog hunts minus Safari Week stuff. So I don't believe I have anything Safari Week posted in here. And unfortunately, Safari Week, that's another thing, is that for Safari this year, chances are there's probably not going to be much. If I get lucky, there might be one shiny, but I really did not have much time to do Safari this year, and that's just because I literally just got back home a week ago from Alberta. So yeah, like a cross country trip for me, and it took like most of the time I'd be pre gaming for Safari and like doing like a good amount of Safari encounters. I was not home. I was out on a trip, so because of that, didn't really get as much time to do Safari this year. So if there is anything for Safari, then cool. Like if I get one thing for Safari, that's awesome. If not, it is what it is. Like it happens. Like things happen, life happens, so it's okay. Because there's lots of other stuff that will be coming up in the near future. So yeah, Hypno 5K. You got a Magikarp hunting Platinum. So this is actually the resort area Magikarp. So this is the level 1 through 100 Magikarp essentially. So I'm shiny hunting it while going for all the rare levels. So it's a cool hunt. It's definitely something I've been enjoying doing. So currently at 5.4k for that. Stack Attacka is a hunt I've done on just one game. So my one copy of Ultra Moon, 500 SRs. So that's kind of like an off and on, very off and on hunt I started. Trophy Garden for specifically for Pichu and Pikachu, 5.1k in Platinum for that. Cresselia and Black 2 White 2, 3.3 or 3,314. 1858 for a Tyrogue Heart Gold Soul Silver. Only 138 for a Darkrai, so that's a slow hunt. Now, I do have a Switch too, so I've seen and heard that BDSP SRs are a little bit faster on Switch 2, so probably going to resume the Darkrai hunt on my Switch 2, so that'll be cool. Maractus Phase 3, 3.9k in Black 2 White 2. There's the Dialga hunt I was talking about earlier in the video, so currently at 1.8k for it. This is actually a very, very old hunt. Probably one of the oldest hunts on this entire backlog, to be honest. This was something I started years ago and then put it on hold and never ever got back to it. But it was something I always intended to go back to. Just never got the time to do it because I had other hunts I was already doing and working on. So very interesting for sure. So definitely something I want to get back to at some point. Galarian, Mr. Mime, and Sword and Shield, 7.6k for that. Beware, I'm now in phase 3 for, so I do and have completed a second phase for the Beware hunt. I don't have the video up on YouTube for that yet, but still trying to figure out as well, like, how I want to post my shiny videos. Like, if I want to try to save a lot of them for compilations, or if I kind of just want to post everything as I get them. That's something I've been going back and forth on recently as well. And then Seedot Shroomish, phase 3 for that as well. Haven't started that yet too. And same thing as well for a Pachirisu and BDSP. Also haven't started, and also on phase 3 for that too. So looking ahead in the channel, looking for the rest of 2025 and into 2026, just basically looking into the future. So obviously I've got plans to do new hunting projects, so like, you know, brand new hunts focusing in the Switch titles, and also working on the odd like hunt in the older games, plus focusing on finishing up the backlog, are kind of things I'm looking at doing with shiny hunting. And I've also got other things I'm starting to think about. I haven't really decided yet, and I'll talk more about that potentially if I do decide to do those types of hunts. But I have some other ideas for hunting projects I might do too that I'm considering, still trying to figure out in my head. Um, and then attempting to work at the backlog of my hunts plus start new hunts. That's essentially what I just explained, so I can just, I guess, skip that point and skip that one as well. And then obviously TCG content. Unfortunately, there will be no TCG content in the near future or foreseeable future. And with Danielle retiring collecting, it's very, very uncertain what the future of collecting or opening TCG on this channel is going to be. Now, I have been loving collecting a Pokemon Pocket. That is something I will say I've been doing. I just don't have a way to film Pocket. That's the thing. Like, I don't have a way to film any openings in Pocket. So, yeah. But in general, like TCG content, I'm very uncertain and I'm not sure yet what exactly what direction I want to take with the TCG. But for now, I'm essentially semi-retired at this point. I'm just kind of just wait until things calm down, and then when things do calm down, try to figure out, okay, like, is this something I'm still interested in doing? Like, do I still want to open physical TCG? And if I do, how much do I want to open, and what do I want to open? Or do I just want to call it a day there and just focus on shiny hunting for the channel and other Pokemon stuff? So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out when it comes to TCG content, is what pathway I want to take with that. So anyway, yeah, so that's basically it for this video. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a bit of a update as to what's going on, because there's been a lot in the last little while, like with my personal life, as well as obviously with the whole TCG situation, everything that's been going on there. And then kind of just give you guys a little bit of an update, like what I've been doing when it comes to shiny hunting and such. So anyway, really hope you enjoyed this video. I do apologize again, like for those of you who are subscribed to TCG videos, and that there won't be anything for TCG possibly for quite some time, and I do apologize for that. But again, it's just the way things went, and unfortunately, like I really do wish that I could open up cards regularly, but with everything going on, it's just so difficult being able to do so. So anyway, really excited for what's coming up though with shiny hunting and the rest of the stuff on the channel. So hopefully you guys will be excited for that as much as I am. And hopefully I'll be able to get a lot more stuff out to you guys once things get more like once I figure out more like of what exactly I want to do like on the channel here, like for specific types of videos and such. So anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully I will see you all in the near future with a new video. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you all soon.